To
This
explain
conference will now be recorded.
SPFx SharePoint framework demo session. Before that, I will try to explain what is SharePoint, SharePoint modes, and what is the major disadvantages of SharePoint on premises. What is the advantages of SharePoint online? So, what type of developments are there in SharePoint on premises? Why they are moving to the like SharePoint to SPFx, like SharePoint framework development? I will try to explain today's session. Like first of all, what is SharePoint, SharePoint versions, and SharePoint mod, SharePoint development, SharePoint version, SharePoint topics, and SharePoint development modes, development modes. What is SPFx? SPFx features. So these are all today my agenda session. Okay. Before that, my name is Raghavendra. I have around 13 plus years of experience. I am working as a solution architect, one of the MNC organization. Around 1 lakh people are trained in different technologies like SharePoint 2010, 2013, SharePoint Online, Power Platform, SPFX. So today I'm going to explain SharePoint framework development demo session. So now, so please tell me about yourself also. So SK, please unmute and please tell me your qualification and your experience, what you are working, please. And SK and Tamil and Pankaj Singh, Jeff, if any possibilities, please unmute and please tell me your name and your qualification and your experience. Okay, so I think all are mute. So I will continue the session.
Hi, sir.
Okay. So yeah, 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 yeah. See
Yeah,
here,
hi, sir.
please.
Yeah, hi, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, actually, previously I'm joining in Power Apps class now.
Yes, yes.
Presently, I'm working in Infosys.
Okay,
Yeah, presently my project is SPFx. That's why I'm joining to in this class.
okay. And we'll continue. Thank you so much. SK, any
Yeah,
possibilities from your end? And Tamil and Ted, Pankaj Singh, Jeff, Vinay, any chance? Please unmute and please tell me your name and your experience, anything. Otherwise, I'm continuing the class. Okay, thank you. Yeah, Pankaj Singh, go ahead, please.
Good evening, sir. My name is Pankaj Singh.
Yes, yes.
I am working in Bangalore E2E projects, and I have a 4.6 year experience in SharePoint development, and already Power Apps class from you. And now
Okay,
I have a great opportunity to learn SPFX from you.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Pankaj. Yeah, thank you so much. Like regarding SK and Jeff.
Yeah, hi Raghav. This is
Yeah,
Tamil here.
hi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
please.
I have 10 year of experience in
Can you
SharePoint
speak
development.
loudly if it is possible?
Sure. So I have overall 10 year
Yes.
of experience in SharePoint, and in
Okay.
SPFX I'm working in past 1 year. So I want to explore
Okay.
more in SPFX. So
Okay.
I hope it's a great opportunity to use this.
Thank you.
And I have a couple of
Thank
questions.
you.
Like you have mentioned 30 days. So I didn't understand. So this is kind of demo class or
What topics
what?
will covered? What topics will covered? Will explain this demo session, Tamil.
Okay. I mean, in the demo sense, demo class, and this is like only today because I could see in the message you have mentioned 30 days.
No, no. Today only demo. Tomorrow onwards regular classes.
Uh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
So
what should be the timing?
same time, 6 to 7.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Tamil. So after this class, you can ask any questions. Like now, I can go to Jeff for anyone chance, or can I continue class? So I will wait for 1 minute for your introduction. You are not able to do, I can continue the class. Okay. So thank you so much for your introduction. Now I'm continue the class. So please listen because I'm explaining from scratch to end. So today because demonstration, right? Someone are like experienced people, someone are no experience, someone are freshers. So please understanding from scratch to end implementation. Okay. So now we will start the class. Basically, what is the SharePoint? So SharePoint is nothing but collection of web application and site collection and list and document libraries. So please ignore spelling mistakes. SharePoint is a SharePoint is a browser based enabled technology and collaboration and content management because content management and content management and web content management. What is the web application? Web application is nothing but IAS website. What is IAS? Internet information service. So this is called. So every on premises or online. If you want to host to the web application, you are going to create another one website in IIS. You can host to the any web application like either SharePoint or .NET or any site. So IIS is the one of the main part of hosting the web services. We are hosting the websites. Like SharePoint is nothing but collection of web application and site collection and list and document libraries. SharePoint is a browser-based enabled technology and collaboration and content management and web content management also. Basically, what is the SharePoint versions? SharePoint having a different type of versions. One is called SharePoint on premises. Second one is called right now market is SharePoint Online. What is the SharePoint on premises? What is the required software? Okay. SharePoint on premises nothing but with install, with install. I need to install Windows Server and Visual Studio for development purpose and like SQL Server for database and Active Directory AD for authentication purpose. So these are all these are all on SharePoint software based on the version. These are all required parameters for the SharePoint on premises. SharePoint on premises is nothing but installation. So I need to install the all the softwares in our local system. Then only I can able to use the SharePoint on premises. What is the required software? Windows Server is one of the software. Visual Studio, one of the software. SQL Server, one of the software. Active Directory, one of the software, and SharePoint software is required. Windows Server is the operating system. Visual Studio is the development. SQL Server is the database. Active Directory is nothing but authentication. SharePoint software is there. SharePoint application development. So these are all prerequirements for the SharePoint on-premises. What versions are available? So 2007, 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019 versions are there in SharePoint on premises. 2007, 2010, 2013, 2016, 2019 softwares are versions are available in SharePoint on premises. So what is the database? So basically, SharePoint, not in SharePoint, SharePoint, Power Platform, .NET, Azure, all databases are only one database, that is called SQL Server only. So SharePoint database also SQL Server. So you have different type of development architectures are there. What is the different type of development architecture? For example, I will share one real-time project, like this is called NTB registration form. So this project basically previously you are using the like uh, uh, like SharePoint on premises. SharePoint on premises. You are developing this application SharePoint on premises like 2010. 2010. So what is the major drawbacks of SharePoint 2010 development, 2013 development, 2016 development, 2019 development, SharePoint online development? Why? Why it is coming picture in the SharePoint framework? What is the key features of SharePoint framework? Okay. So before that, I will also try to explain SharePoint online. It is a purely cloud-based application. No need to install any softwares. Any softwares. All are provided by Azure only, like servers, Visual Studio, everything will provided by like Azure only. It is a purely cloud-based application, application, application development development using with Office 365 subscription. Office 365 subscription. Okay, so it can support two type of services. One is called IaaS, second sorry PAS and SAS. Two type of services. One is called IaaS, second one is called SAS. Platform as a service, software as a service, because it will provide the environment, it will provide the application development. It will provide the application development. What is the meaning of like a platform? Because I am developing the apps, I am store the apps, I can manage the apps, I can build the apps, I can develop the apps. Like platform as a service is nothing but I can build, I can develop, I can design, I can deploy. SaaS is nothing but software as a service. What required, like for example, I want to develop the Zomato app or something. So I can develop the application, Zomato application using with the SharePoint software, nothing but SaaS. SaaS is nothing but software as a service developing the applications. PaaS is nothing but platform as a service, create app, develop app, design app, build app, deploy the app. So these are all major parameters for the PaaS and SaaS. So, because I have in this class so many experienced people are there, I think everyone is aware of these topics. SharePoint development model architecture, SharePoint 2010 development architecture. So here, no client side, no client side. Everything is, everything is, everything is server side. What is the meaning of client side and server side? See here, for example, I am going to open SBI login page, login page. Okay. So for example, login, continue login. I am click on login button. Again, I am click on login button. Again click on login button. Again. So how many times I am clicking? Around 4 times I am clicking. See here. So 4 times I am clicking the login button. See, I will give the one Venn diagram for this. So this is called login page. This is called button. This is called server. Okay. When I am click on login button, the request will be go to the server. How many time? How many times? For example, I am clicking 100 times. So someone is clicking on 100 times. Someone is clicking on 100 times without any proper data, without any username and password. I am clicking 100 times like I am clicking 100 times button. So every request will be go to the server. It is the button on the server. It is also effect on the performance. So today software upgrading basically performance and features. So for example, C, I can develop any type of project. CPP, I can develop any type of project. Why they are coming 2010, 2013, 2016, 2017, 2019, SharePoint Online? Because performance wise improvement and application develop features wise improvement. So using those parameters, the softwares are upgrading and softwares are like versions are updated. So basically, this is the problem for SharePoint 2010 development. SharePoint 2010 development, so have different type of parameters are there. Like for example, if you want to create the, I will show the one real-time project here. So here, see here, I am creating a registration form. For example, I am going to create this application alternation form. Okay, so this form I am developing with Visual Studio Web Part. What is this? Web Part. So this is the form. Around so many controls are there. So many controls are. This is the user defined form. So for example, if you want to develop this application, so Visual Studio is required. Okay, Visual Studio is required plus server side control. What is the meaning of server side control? ASP.NET controls, not HTML. ASP.NET control. What is the ASP? Active server pages. So that controls are server side control plus coding also server side. Coding also server side. So it is button on the server. It is button on the server, and it is also effect on performance. It is also effect on performance, and it is also like like uh, like affect the end users also, end users. So this is the problem. For example, once I am developing the application, when I want to deploy the application from from VAT to from development to VAT, VAT to production. Okay, production, very complexity process, very complexity process. For example, if you want to deploy the application, IIS reset. What is the meaning of IIS reset? So it will affect the whole site. For example, I have 10 sites are there in IIS, but I am deploying only For example, Raghavendra, one side, Hari, one side, Pankaj, one side, like a Tamil, one side, Jeff, one side. So all sides are hosted into the IAS only. Okay. For example, I am deploy the any application using with this process, okay, it will affect the all the sites, but I am developing that application only Raghavendra only. It is not required for Hari, that feature, no required for Pankaj, no required for Tamil, but it is also affect to the all the sites. That is also one of the major problem in server side development. Server side development, server side like deployment, server side performance problems. Okay, so that is the one of the customization functionality in SharePoint 2010. After SharePoint 2010, SharePoint 2013, they will add another feature. That features are server side coding plus client side coding also. Client side coding. What is the meaning of server side coding, client side coding? Server side coding is nothing but same functionality. Okay. Client side coding is nothing but like like they are introduced two concepts like JSON and REST API and CSOM, client side objective model. So this is called SSOM, server side objective model. Server side objective model and client side objective model. So client side objective model. So I what is the required parameters for? No need to require Visual Studio. No need to require Visual Studio and no need to require any ASP.NET controls. Not required, not required like VM, like VDM. For example, I have site. Okay, so that site I'm using remote desktop. I'm connected with the SharePoint server. Then only I can develop the Visual Studio application. Please mute. Please mute. Please mute. Please mute. Please mute. Then. Okay. So for example, if you are developing the any server side application should be required VDM mission. Then only you can develop the like with server side control, server side features. But in client side, no need to require VDM. That site is accessible to the in our like not VDM also. So then you can able to develop the features using with client side. So that is the major important. And what is the required for this one? No need to require Visual Studio, ASP.NET controls, not required VDM also. Just you can use the JavaScript plus plus HTML controls. HTML controls. So these are all major importance of like plus DLS, not DLS, JS files, reference JS files. Is already available reference JS files. So these are three parameters are required. So it is already available in SharePoint folder. Just you need to implement the JavaScript and HTML controls. So that is called like JSON. Same thing. They are also introduced another topic REST API. It is also like no need to require any like Visual Studio or Visual Studio using with HTML controls, and plus JavaScript or jQuery, we can develop the REST API functionality. We can develop the REST API functionality. So what is the no need to require IAS reset? No need to require IAS reset, and no need to require any like downtime. Just I can update the HTML, I can update the TST file txt file. So the features are applicable. The features are applicable in SharePoint. So these are all major advanced. So improve the application performance, and improve the like site performance also, application performance and site performance also, site performance also. So these are all major topics of REST API things. Like no need to require IS reset, no need to require any downtime. Just I can update the TST file feature. It is also applicable in SharePoint. Improve the application performance and site performance. Okay. So now SharePoint 2016, SharePoint 2019 also same functionality. So they are providing any additional feature. Additional feature means, for example, .NET. .NET, how to submit the data from .NET application to how to submit the data from .NET application to SQL Server. One thing, ADO.NET, they are coming like a separate concept like some data structures. Right now they are using MVC. What is the using of MVC? Model weak control framework. So same thing, they are also providing one of the topic from the SharePoint peoples, SharePoint framework. It is also new development model for building the SharePoint experience. Like it is also flexibility and extensibility from the SharePoint development functionality. Like you can also use the modern web technology tools and classic. Two modes are there. New old SharePoint is nothing but classic. New SharePoint is nothing but modern. So using with SPFx new development model, so both are target into the SharePoint list only. For example, if I am using the JSON, if I am using the CSOM, if I am using the REST API, if I am using the server-side objective model, all are target to the SharePoint list. So what is the SharePoint list? SharePoint list is nothing but a table. Like SQL Server is nothing but a table, right? Same thing, SharePoint is also nothing but a table. So using SharePoint list is nothing but a table. Table is nothing but rows and columns. So you can create the SharePoint list in SharePoint environment. So then their target submit the data using with the server-side objective model in SharePoint 2010 development. SharePoint 2013 onwards, they are also adding additional, like one is called CSOM plus SSOM. CSOM is nothing but client-side objective model. SSOM nothing but server-side objective model. So server-side objective model, what is the disadvantages? Already have explained previous things like IS reset, application pool effect, like it is also effect to the all the sites, like downtime is required for deployment process. These things. But when you are coming into the picture, like client-side objective model, like a JavaScript objective model or REST API, so no need to require any downtime and no need to require any like IS reset, application pool reset. So all are like only for we have one TST file, one notepad file. Just you can write the script, you can create the HTML controls. Just you can upload the file into the document library. You need to provide the different type of web parts are there, like script editor or content editor or different type of web parts are there. You can provide the reference for that web part. Automatically the controls also populated. You can also submitting the data into the SharePoint list. So that is the one of the best way to submit the data using with SharePoint client-side objective model. So after that, they are coming into the SPFx. SPFx is a new development model for building and SharePoint experience. Like it is also flexibility, it is also extensibility for the SharePoint development. It is also modern web technology tool. It is also build the powerful and engage experience work on any device. Like basically that major SharePoint framework is a page and web part model. Its development is called page and web part model. It is also provides full support for the client side SharePoint development, not server side. It is also easily integrated with SharePoint data and support to the open sourcing tool. Open sourcing tool means like you can use the JavaScript, you can use the Node.js, you can use the like React.js, you can use the TypeScript also, like the different things. Like using with SharePoint framework, you can also use the modern web technology tools like for development environment. It is also experience and apps. It is also responsive. It is also major important of like mobile ready from the day one. For example, if you are developing any SharePoint application, you need to create the responsive. What is the meaning of responsive? Like a responsive means nothing but, for example, I am developing Zomato application in SharePoint mobile website is for separate development and website desktop separate development like iPad for separate development. But now, if you want to develop the one web application, that application also can support responsive and it is also ready mobile ready functionality. Okay. SharePoint framework is a smooth integration with SharePoint data. It is also open source tooling. It is also provide the full support for the client side SharePoint development. Because SharePoint framework is a smooth integration. Okay, it is also SharePoint data and open source tooling. It is also provide the full support client side SharePoint development. That is also one of the major important. Basically, SharePoint framework works SharePoint on premises like 2016 as well as 2019 also. 2013 also supported but not compatibility from SharePoint 2016 feature pack and SharePoint 29 and SharePoint Online. That is the reason. SharePoint framework, SharePoint framework can support two type of versions. One is called SharePoint 2016 and SharePoint 2019, SharePoint 2019 and SharePoint Online. SharePoint 2013 also supported, but not compatibility. But SharePoint 2016, SharePoint 2019, it is a compatibility for the SharePoint framework development. So it is purely client side SharePoint development. Advantages of SharePoint features like it is also JavaScript embedded embedded into the page. Okay, and there is no frame, no iframe here. There is a no iframe because if you want to embed the controls, no need to require any iframe customization. Okay, so directly it means like it is also JavaScript embedded directly into the page only. Okay, so SharePoint framework basically SharePoint framework SharePoint framework runs in the context of the current user and connection the browser. Okay, current user connection the browser means like it is, but it is not bugged into the server. What is the meaning? This SharePoint framework runs in the connect of the current user and connection into the browser, and SharePoint framework controls are responsible and that response across all devices, desktop, tablet and mobile. So SharePoint controls are SharePoint framework SPFx. I will write small quotation. SPFx controls are are responsible and accessible and across across all devices like desktop and tablet and mobile. Like it is also end user can use the SharePoint framework framework approved by the tenant admin. Tenant admin means, for example, SharePoint online having our tenant admin. So SharePoint on premises having a like a on service account. Same thing here. SharePoint framework web part can be added two things. One is called classic mode and modern pages also. Modern pages also. So for it can support TypeScript, easy implementation method in the JavaScript. Like you can also use the different developers tools like Visual Studio Code, Atom, and Sublime. So different things are there. Using this, you can develop the SPFx web parts. So first you need to require some parameter like what is the workbench, how to install the SPFX setups, like what is the generator of for the like Newman Gulf workbench. So these things will explain like tomorrow class. So basically, what is the major criteria for the SPFX means previously we are facing for the submission of the data into the SharePoint list. So SSOM, server side objective model. After that, it will come into the client side objective model, CSUM. After that, it will come into the SPFX. Right now, all organizations are using SPFX because major importance of SPFX, it can support on premises, it can support online, it can support all responsive pages like mobile, tablet, and desktop also. Like it is quick responsive pages, and as well as it can also recommended for the client side objective like classic site and a modern site is also. That is a major importance criteria for development the SharePoint SPFX models into the SharePoint on premises and SharePoint online. So this is called today our agenda session. So in this topic we'll cover what is SharePoint basics like list creation, like document library creation, site columns, site content types, and web parts. We have different type of web parts are there. Script editor, content editor, the app part, web parts also we covered all web parts, and we'll also explain JSON. We'll also explain REST API. So let's JSON CRUD operation, CRUD operation, REST API CRUD operation. Will also explain SharePoint on premises, like web application creation, site collection creation, like so small example using with Visual Studio, small example using with client side objective model, how to create the workbenches, node, like TypeScript things, and after that how to deployment, WSP deployment. So what is the effect to the SharePoint server, what how to deploy the JavaScript, how to deploy the SPFX. So we'll cover all topics from scratch to end implementation, like a traditional development and server side development, client side development, and apps development. Now you can ask any questions. Now you can ask any questions. SK, Tamil, Pankaj Singh, Jeff, any doubts? Tamil, SK, Pankaj. Any doubts, please? Any doubts, Pankaj Singh and Tamil and Jeff?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
Okay, guys. I think thanks for joining everyone. Thank you so much. Like we will tomorrow we'll start the SharePoint development functionality. We'll come into the SPFx also. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.